Welcome everyone to the NYSERDA Clean Mobility Solutions Provider Showcase. This showcase will be an opportunity for you as potential applicants to the program to learn more about some of the mobility solutions providers available to support demonstration projects. We all look forward to learning more about their products and services. I want to point out that there is a directory online, which I will talk about a little bit later. Several of the organizations listed will have a chance to briefly present on their organization's capabilities and answer questions today. So I want to introduce myself. I am Wendy Lucht. I am a support contractor to NYSERDA CMP, and I work for Energetics. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Catherine Banner. She and I work very closely together on the NYSERDA CMP program. And then I'd like to hand this off now to Richard to introduce himself and the other NYSERDA team members.
Thanks, Wendy, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Richard Mai from NYSERDA. I'm one of the project managers overseeing the Clean Mobility Program. I'd also like to introduce my colleagues Alexia Heinrich and Rachel Fishman, who are also playing key roles in managing this program. So turn it over to them to say hello.
Excellent, thank you. So next slide. So we have broken up our sessions today into groups of 2 to 5 mobility solution providers. Each presentation will be followed by either mostly 10 minutes of question and answer, although the first one will be 5 minutes and the first one will be 15 minutes, the second one will be 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes and 10 minutes of questions and answers. Time permitting, we're also going to allow questions and answers at the end of today's session. Topics for this afternoon include shuttle services, EV rideshare, and on-demand car services. Cross-cutting approaches that we have during the day-to-day. Often those companies check multiple boxes with their solutions they offer, and sometimes they support both 2-wheel and 4-wheel solutions. So if you missed this morning's session focused on 2-wheel solutions, you should be able to review the recording on the NYSERDA CMP website in the coming days. Next slide. I have some housekeeping rules for today. As the audience's notes, they're muted upon entry, and we're getting ready to start, and we're going to be starting with GeoTab. As a reminder to the speakers, I do not plan on introducing every speaker, so please be ready to go as the presenter ahead of you is wrapping up. With regard to questions and answers, we're going to be addressing written questions first. I will start by reading the written questions that come through the chat. For those chat questions, be sure to precede your question with which presenter or group of presenters the question is directed towards. So after we address the written questions in the chat, we will be opening up the unmuting people for verbal questions. John will be calling on people who've raised their hands. The individual asking the questions will be unmuted by NYSERDA Events, John, for about 20 seconds. So be very succinct, be as concise as possible. All questions, both written and verbal, should be directed at a specific presenter or company or clearly aimed at multiple presenters. So next slide. Eligible projects are efforts that will demonstrate zero-emission transportation options. Eligible demonstration projects include hardware, software, and operations. Also, they can include market development initiatives. This may include one or more commercially available products or the integration of multiple commercially viable products. NYSERDA funds may be used for the purchase of zero-emission vehicles or installation of EV infrastructure. NYSERDA funds may also be used for the purchase of micromobility devices or micromobility charging infrastructure. Electric bikes or scooters funded by NYSERDA, this is very important, they need to meet industry safety standards, such as being UL certified. Next slide. Demonstration track round 2 defines mobility solution providers beyond just operators. This definition also includes OEMs, distributors, and other vendors. Mobility solutions providers are entities that manufacture, supply, develop, install, operate, and maintain electric vehicles and micromobility devices such as bikes, e-bikes, and scooters, charging equipment for EVs and micromobility devices, programs to support CMP eligible technologies such as bikes, scooters, and e-bikes, as well as EV rideshare and on-demand services, charging hubs for micromobility, and EVs. Next slide. More mobility solutions can be found, as I mentioned earlier, on the Mobility Solutions Provider directory on the NYSERDA CMP website. The directory is not exhaustive. Most organizations listed there have operated in or currently operate in New York State or have been identified through similar directories that have been compiled by other states. Proposers are welcome to choose any eligible mobility provider. And this disclaimer is very important. This showcase today and the directory is for informational purposes only and does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by NYSERDA. So we're going to actually skip to the slide afterwards, not this slide, the next. And I am going to let GeoTab take it away.
All right, next slide. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Southard, and I'm a business development manager with GeoTab's public sector team. So what is GeoTab? We're actually the #1 rated telematics provider worldwide. Through that time of being in business for the last 25 years, we've amassed over 4.9 million subscriptions in telematics subscriptions for certain vehicles and assets worldwide. And that's about 80 billion data points daily that are then coming into our system. So if we go to our next slide, please. So typically when we think about telematics, we're talking about reasons of why, monitoring your fleet, where are they going, for utilization standpoints, maybe then understanding, from productivity, where are they going, how long do they stop for, maybe there's safety aspects as well. So are they driving efficiently, but ultimately what we're here today is to talk about our sustainability features and then kind of going down insights for efficiency. So when we're installed in our telematics system is installed within your fleet, we want to then get a benchmark of your vehicles as they're out there, light duty, medium duty, heavy duty, your EVs as well. We want to then understand, how are these vehicles being driven? How many miles are they covering? How much fuel are they using? How is that produced? How much CO2 emissions is that producing at some certain aspects? This sets that benchmark so that we can then create and help our agencies be able to then create in certain reports so that we can then move forward with additional sustainability ideas. And that's how we then set that benchmark, move towards some adopting of, let's say, certain sustainable fleet practices. So creating rules about safer driving. Ultimately, we've seen that safer driving does equate to not only less wear and tear on a vehicle, but the less fuel usage in that vehicle, equating to even less emission use. But then we start talking about, let's say, moving towards sustainable fleets. GeoTab has the ability when you start wanting to then accelerate your decarbonization efforts. GeoTab is your #1 leader with regards to connected EVs, where we have about 340 different electric vehicles that are already providing GeoTab information such as state of charge, when they are charging, whether they get down to a critical level, and that helps our vehicles and our fleets that we're working with be able to then move towards that sustainable fleet. So if we can go to our next slide. So typically when we're working with certain agencies, we don't know where they are with their sustainable fleet journey. And we want to maybe be able to help these agencies, whether they're actually just starting their journey or they're already starting to then fulfill most of their vehicles as an actual EV fleet at this point. So free within our assessment with GeoTab, we have something called an electric vehicle suitability assessment. This now takes your real world driving information about where they're going, what type of asset they are, where they're domiciled, where they stop and so forth, and just taking their real world data and then getting a full understanding about whether that vehicle is suitable for replacement with a like for like EV at that point. which is huge and helpful information, and even includes a cost assessment as well. Now, as you start operating electric, as I talked before with our 340 different EVs that we're connected to today, we can see whether every day, whether your vehicles are actual charge and ready to go to meet their duty cycle at the end of the day, and also provide you notifications if they get down to that critical level. Aside from the assessment of the fleet, we can also then get a good understanding about, the actual jurisdiction which you cover in your facilities, how many vehicles are parked there and potentially how many chargers that you might require, even the actual energy concerns and how much energy you might require for the grid, from the grid to be able to then support each one of those facilities as well. So if you go to our next slide, we've done this assessment not only on the local, smaller level, county level, state level as well, but we've also then done this on the actual federal level, where Geotab was actually mandated to be installed in all the federal fleet. So then we can get a better understanding about which vehicles would be not only suitable for replacement with EV, but then help from a worldwide actual infrastructure plan for the federal government. Thank you. That's the conclusion of my presentation today, and I'll pass it over to Element Fleet.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. My name is Bill Collins. I'm with the government team at Element Fleet Management, and today I'm joined by Alad Asulan. He's a sales engineer with Autofleet, and not speaking but available for questions is Ruta Bortakoki, our director in our EV team. So Element Fleet Management, what's a fleet management company? Well, we provide a full service product suite for every aspect of a vehicle's life cycle. So acquisition, finance, remarketing, maintenance programs, collision management programs, telematics, safety, fuel, title and registration, tolls and violation. Element covers everything. With 1.5 million vehicles under management, by certain measures, Element is the largest fleet manager in the world. What does that bring to our clients? That brings to our clients really excellent oversight and quality control and efficiency for their fleet operation. But being the world's best fleet management company isn't enough these days. You have to be the #1 mobility company. So looking into the future, Element last year partnered and acquired Autofleet. Autofleet is a leader in fleet optimization, simulation, automation, and EV transition. And what Autofleet's going to do for Element is take us to the next level with our clients. Next slide, please. Oh, well, actually, 2 slides. The next one. Thank you. So what demand do we get out of our clients these days? Well, of course, EV transition is the top of everybody's mind. So where are our specialties? Well, our specialties are really in assisting with charging. So we have dedicated verticals to home charging, centralized or depot charging, public charging, and actually charging management, because that's where the highest demand from our clients comes today. But we have a particular focus on car share or pool management programs, which help our clients do the most with the least, right? We want to minimize our cost with regard to our vehicles, but we want to maximize the services that we provide to our clients. So we, through Autofleet and Element's efforts, we are able to address all of their needs this way. And of course, on charging, we've got the dedicated charging effort. That's where the focus is today. So we help throughout the full range of obtaining the infrastructure, designing the charging networks, and maintaining them as well. Next slide, please. So here's just a listing of the projects that Autofleet and Element have been involved with. Again, it gets the very essence of where transportation is moving today. Let's do the most in terms of providing the most services to our clients while ensuring that we run efficient fleet operations, because fleet is an expense for everyone. So it's all about controlling that expense and making sure that we are maximizing services across the board and all new forms of transportation while keeping costs at a minimum. And with that, I'm going to conclude, keeping it brief, but we are available, the team, for any questions you may have on our services during the Q&A. So thank you very much. I think Demand Trans is next.
Thanks, Bill. So I'm Roger Teal. I'm president of Demand Trans. We have a company that's been around for decades. We are specialize in developing technology platforms for transportation's purposes. And our focus for the last several years has been on either both mobility as a service platforms, originally developed by our partner in Finland, as well as our technology platform for demand responsive transit services, often referred to these days as micro transit. The people on our team have multiple decades of experience in planning or operations of transportation. Next slide, please. As I indicated, the two e-mobility services that we offer are both a MOS platform and a demand responsive transportation platform. But the MOS platform itself, of course, is quite comprehensive. It has capabilities of doing trip planning. We can integrate EV car sharing, bike sharing, on-demand services. All of those are implemented in a flagship operation in the Stockton area of Northern California, where we've been in operation there for 6 years, using multiple $million-dollar projects funded by the state of California. We haven't gotten multiple $1 million, but they've been very large projects. So we provide single-stop shopping for e-mobility services such as car share, bike share, etc. The platform enables users to book and pay for those services, as well as public transportation services. And as I indicated, we've integrated our own microtransit technology program that's used in 2 of the largest regional services in the United States with this e-mobility application. Next slide, please. So, these 2 schematics give you a little bit of an understanding of some of the pieces that are part of these either the mobility as a service platform or the micro transit technology platform. I think the thing that I want to focus on the most in terms of mobility as a service is the ability of flexibility. Of course, it's great to have a single platform that can, plan your trip. You can, see when the transit vehicle's coming or another vehicle's coming. You can pay for it all through that platform. The one-stop shopping aspect is very, very important. But we consider equally important the ability to disaggregate the registrants, the users of the MOS platform, into different categories, and then we can provide services that are tailored to those groups of people. And equally important, we can apply fare policies, payment policies to those folks in the different categories, so that people who perhaps are lower income or have particular needs can see a different price for service than those who don't. For example, in the Helsinki region, our partners there had a program that they worked with the Helsinki Transit Agency. There was a reverse commute bus to a large automobile manufacturing plant, maybe 15 miles outside of Helsinki. It's expensive to go to for the production workers, so they were subsidized at a certain rate. The management was subsidized at a certain rate, and those who weren't part of the organization, were paid yet a third rate. So these are the sorts of things that one can do with these platforms. In terms of the microtransit technology platform, you can see in the little map, if you will, on the lower right-hand side, all of the different service zones that we have in the Denver area. More than 20 service zones, more than 40 vehicles. More than 2,000 trips per day were being operated pre-COVID. So again, this is a very large operation, and this platform is designed to handle per service in a structured way to make it most cost-effective as possible. Last slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. So I'm not going to talk through this slide, but this gives you, if you read through it, you'll get a much more detail about how this large program in Stockton worked. I'd like to direct particular attention to the Uber trip subsidy program. That's a program that people can use our our MOS platform to directly book a trip on Uber. That's a $5 subsidy if they've taken a certain number of transit trips every month, and they can unlock a couple of trips every month if they do so. It's been very, very popular. More than 5,000 trips have been taken, and many, many people have benefited, and everybody is extremely pleased. So this program that, as I indicated, been underway for several years, is recently receiving new funding, and it's going to take us through 2030. So it's been very, very successful in terms of implementing a MOS tool in a small, medium metropolitan area. Thank you for your attention. Next.
Okay, we're ready for Harry.
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks, Roger. Hi, I'm Hari Udayapuram, and I'm here on behalf of Urban Mobility, doing business as Hypercommute. We've been building inclusive tech-powered mobility solutions for over 8 years with a leadership team that brings more than 100 years of combined experience in mobility innovation. We're a small, focused team, over 20 engineers and consultants. Our strength lies in designing and deploying scalable transportation systems tailored specifically for underserved, low-income, and rural communities. We have extensively collaborated with NYSERDA, CARB, Clean Mobility Options California, SUMC, and others to help communities and organizations reimagine access, equity, and sustainability in mobility. Whether we are building from scratch or enhancing existing solutions, we bring a rare combination of intelligence, inclusion, and agility. What makes our solutions powerful is that they're intelligent and adaptive and can sit on top of existing solutions, supporting both the riders and service providers. Next slide, please. So for riders, especially those who are new to tech and innovative mobility solutions, we provide a layer or a plugin for real-time guidance, accessible interfaces, and personalized assistance, all powered by AI and data. Whether someone is elderly, rural, or tech shy, they get a system that's easy to use right from their phone. Next slide, please. So for planners and service operators, we provide real-time visibility into delays, vehicle usage, charging health, and demand patterns, plus AI-based hints to adjust operations on the fly. Our platforms generate instant reports and storylines to support grant applications, stakeholder updates, and strategic planning. No more digging through data silos. To the last slide, please. Right. The two quick examples that I would like to share. In California, we're building a TripAdvisor for youth transportation, offering educators smart, curated electric vehicle-based trips for field learning. So we're working closely with CARB, CalStat, Google, BART, and nonprofits to ensure the solution is sustainable and scalable. On the other coast, in Tompkins County, New York, we built a flagship first mile, last mile service for low-income rural residents in partnership with NYSERDA, TCAT, and Gadabout. This service helps people in transit deserts connect seamlessly to the larger public network. So at Hypercommute, we build technology tools. We help communities design systems they can adapt and improve continuously with data, feedback, and transparency. We would love to partner with you to bring this vision to your community. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Harry. Okay, Chris from Matcha, you're up.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I'm Chris Klusner, co-founder and CEO of Matcha EV. Matcha is an EV charging as a service company. We're a hybrid developer, owner, operator, and technology provider of EV charging stations used for EV rideshare fleets, car share fleets, light duty vehicles, and micromobility use cases. We provide end-to-end support specifically around deployment of EV charging infrastructure, getting involved early in the process in terms of site selection, incentive capture, resident surveys, and other requirements to deploy successful charging hubs. We also own and operate the infrastructure and provide a vendor-owned, no-cost, profit share-oriented solution where site hosts can deploy EV charging stations with no installation, equipment, operations, or maintenance costs, and we serve as the operator. We're headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, but work actively in New York City. You can learn more about us at matchaev.com. Next slide, please. We offer, again, charging technology solutions inclusive of a proprietary charge station management system, which controls driver access, payments, and energy management control. We use open source hardware that is agnostic. We do not make equipment. We procure and deploy leading equipment from the top manufacturers in the world, from level 1, level 2, or level 3 use cases. And we provide operations and maintenance services on top of that. We're a great fit as a partner on this program to provide the fueling infrastructure for public charging, employee benefit charging, EV rideshare or car share use cases, microtransit or e-shuttles comprised in charging hubs or retrofitted to existing or newly developed properties. And again, as a hybrid developer operator, we provide this, including with a no-cost vendor-owned solution where we can deploy this infrastructure contingent on supplemental incentives to offer this at no cost. Next slide, please. As a company, we currently work today, most notably at supporting the Brooklyn Army Terminal alongside New York City Economic Development Corporation with ongoing EV charging services for public access. We are MassCEC, Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, grant awardees for $1.7 million to install public charging in apartments around affordable housing communities in Massachusetts. We are contract awardees for the Massachusetts statewide VEH 122 program, providing equipment and O&M services to municipal governments, towns, and cities in Massachusetts. And as an example, we provide public charging support for the town of Babylon, New York, Southington, Connecticut, and LG's Smart Cities team. What makes us different is the turnkey model we provide, integrating software and services, our no-cost vendor-owned solution, and our ability to partner with technology companies through third-party app integrations. Feel free to reach out. My email address is chris@matchaelectric.com, and I'll end it there. Thank you so much.
Okay, with that, I'm going to welcome members of the audience to ask questions. And if there aren't any questions, either by chat, you can raise your hand. We're going to ask you to reach out directly if you have any questions. Okay. Thank you, Chris. With that, I think we are ready for the next panel. Green Power Motor Company, you're on deck.
Thank you. Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. Next slide, please. My name is Nawi Olin, and I'm Vice President of Business Development with Green Power Motor Company, and I'm happy to be here today. Green Power was founded in 2010 to make electric buses and trucks that are affordable, durable, and enjoyable to operate. Our vehicles are built from the ground up to be electric, not retrofitted, so they deliver better performance and a quieter, more efficient ride. With headquarters in Vancouver, British Columbia, and U.S. Assembly in California and West Virginia, we serve a range of needs: public transit, schools, microtransit, and more. Next slide, please. Green Power offers vehicle platforms that align closely with the goals of the Clean Mobility Program, including on-demand transit, microtransit, and shuttle services. Our EV Star passenger van is a versatile all-electric option with up to 150 miles of range, dual charging, and ADA-ready features like lift options and wheelchair securements, ideal for accessible community-based transit. Next slide, please. We also offer the EV Star Mobility Plus, a wider cutaway model with a spacious, customizable interior, full HVAC, a similar ADA-friendly option, perfect for flexible seating or rider comfort. Both are great fits for first last mile service, special population shuttles, or replacing older diesel vehicles in local circulator programs. Next slide, please. Green Power vehicles are already supporting cleaner, more inclusive mobility across the country. Since 2019, Sacramento Regional Transit has operated 10 EV Stars in its microtransit program, serving disadvantaged neighborhoods. Antelope Valley Transit Authority added 8 EV Stars in 2020 to expand flexible transit in underserved areas. Other deployments include campus fleets at UCLA and UCSF, 4 EV Stars for San Diego International Airport shuttle services, 8 vehicles leased to airline coach services for United Airlines employee shuttles. And these examples show how our purpose-built EVs are delivering zero-emission service across microtransit, shuttle, van pool, and campus applications. We are excited to support communities across New York State in offering cleaner, more reliable transportation, especially where it's needed most. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to connecting with you and learning how Green Power can support your community's transportation goals. Thank you for your time, and our next presenter is John Williams with Motive Electric Trucks.
Thank you. I'm actually filling in for John. I'm Maria Brown. I'm the Director of National Accounts with Motive Electric Trucks. We are the longest running medium-duty electric truck and bus manufacturer and have been around for over 15 years. We are headquartered in Foster City, California, and also have offices and manufacturing in Michigan. So our customers have driven over 6 million miles across North America, with 50% of those vehicles being 50% of the vehicles delivered have been repeat customers. So I threw a few pictures up here of some of our current customers. So the shuttles on the top left were Google-funded shuttles for the city of Mountain View, California. These were some of the first shuttles that we deployed back in 2014. They ran for over 100,000 miles each before being retired, which is pretty impressive for the electric vehicle industry at that time. The shuttle on the bottom left is one of the 3 deployed at the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, which is still in operation today. In the top right photo, you'll see the ribbon cutting for our shuttles we deployed earlier this year with the town of Woodbridge in New Jersey. Next slide, please. So Motive offers Class 4 shuttle buses and Type A school buses on our Epic 4 platform. The range of these vehicles is more like 115 to 130 miles, depending on the driver, but you can often expect around 100 miles with pretty diverse climates. The batteries on our Epic 4 are the same batteries featured in the BMW i3, if you're familiar with that vehicle. Next slide, please. So some of our top customers, our customers include 10 of the top 20 medium duty fleets in North America. We have almost 100 trucks with Bimbo Bakeries, which is the largest bakery in the world. You can probably recognize some of the brands by like Sara Lee or Entenmann's. We also have dozens of trucks with the top 3 linen companies, so Cintas or Vestas, which was formerly known as Aramark. And then you may also recognize some of our bus customers like the Sheridan Resorts, City of Hoboken, and the New York DOE. Next slide, please. So on our last slide, this is a little bit about our customer support, which in my opinion is one of Motive's best offerings. We are with you every step of the way before the sale and after the sale. So from finding and applying for incentives, any kind of support you need with your infrastructure, or any additional partners you may need, like telematics or turnkey services. We are there from beginning to end. We also have a great support team. We have a team that actually resides in New York who currently services that region for us. Well, we also have additional support team out of our Michigan office. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Terrific. I wanted to see if any members of the audience had questions for Green Power Motor Company or Motive Electric Trucks. You can also ask questions about some of the first 5 speakers as well. Does anybody want to ask a verbal question and be unmuted? Okay, I think we're gonna keep moving then. We are on session C, and we're gonna start with circuit transit.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tondi. Can you just proceed to the next slide, please? Thank you so much. So I'm Tondi. I am the Northeast Partnerships Manager for Circuit. And Circuit was born in 2011 in Long Island, New York, with the goal of making cities cleaner, less congested, and safer by reducing single occupancy vehicle trips. Especially targeting short rides, this goal has led us to become one of the largest providers of electric microtransit across the US and right here in New York. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Circuit offers cities, counties, and transit agencies a fully turnkey solution. This means that our team designs and operates scalable, low-cost, on-demand electric microtransit services with partners like NYSERDA to bridge gaps to transit and opportunity. And on this slide, you'll see an example of 2 local programs in New York. One is in the Rockaways out in Queens, one in Brentwood, Long Island. And with both, we bring a very flexible model. So this includes W-2 employee drivers, the vehicles themselves, insurance, and of course, all the transit technology needed to run these services, including a robust data portal that offers real-time insight into each program. And our services enable residents to access opportunities like grocery shopping, medical appointments, trips to downtown, and connections to other forms of transit. So these 2 programs, which were administered by NYSERDA after we won the New York Clean Transportation Prize, are called Rockaway Rides and Brentwood Go, and are meant to target communities that are disproportionately impacted by the health effects of air pollution and climate change, and also suffer from a clear lack of public transportation options. Next slide, please. And these hyperlocal services are both aligned around identified community needs. And this is really reflected in the ridership trends. So both programs are moving thousands of passengers every month. I really want to emphasize that engagement is at the heart of all that Circuit does, and throughout the specific and extensive engagement that we did during all the phases of this grant, we've learned from residents as well as local stakeholders about how they perceived the proposed programs benefiting the community. So the Rockaways program focuses on providing on-demand east to west enhancing general connection on the peninsula and access to the A train and ferry stops, whereas the Brentwood program is focused on connections to local jobs, education at a nearby community college, and regional rail on the Long Island Railroad. So I'll leave you all with the idea that this kind of local touch and community engagement is really what helps us deliver programs that make an impact in the communities we work with. And with proven success in winning NYSERDA funding and tens of millions of dollars worth of EV grants across the US, we'd love to help with any and all aspects of your application process, from providing data on nearby programs to helping with writing and scoping of the application. So our team's contact info is provided on these slides. I think it's on the final one. And you can also reach out through the forms on our website. Thank you. With that, I will pass it to Via.
Hey everyone, can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Really appreciate the opportunity to present to you all. I'm Rob from VIA. I'm on the partnerships team and work with a number of organizations across the state. I'm also the chair of the Autonomous Vehicle Committee for APTA, the American Public Transit Association. I wanted to start off by saying this is such an exciting program, super ambitious, and we're happy to be part of a lot of services and programs like this where we're able to implement electrified microtransit solutions across the country. You can kind of see a snapshot of the partnerships that we have in the state, but I'll focus on the fact that we are based in New York. We're based in Manhattan, so a lot of our employees, actually 200 of our employees that are in that office, reside in your communities. So we like to see that local impact. I'm just going to echo what the folks from Circuit had just said. The local impact is certainly important to us, and this type of program is near and dear to our hearts in New York. If you could advance to the next slide, please. So what VIA does is we implement turnkey microtransit solutions leveraging electric vehicles. As a turnkey partner and a turnkey operator, we provide everything that you would need in order to plan, operate, report on these types of services in an extremely meaningful way. The solution is completely unified. And when I say unified, that's both within VIA and the service itself, but we also try to connect these services to the other transportation options within your community. So the tools that VIA would provide can integrate with the MTA schedules or the Long Island Rail schedules or like the B line in Westchester County. The single unified solution allows riders to basically plan their trips from point A to point B. Part of that trip will be on VIA, which would be a branded service specific to your community, and can connect them to the broader transit network. So these really do turn into first mile, last mile type solutions, or to fill different transportation deserts that might reside within some of your communities. We do like to see ourselves as an extension of you all. And when I say an extension of you and the communities that you serve, we hire local, we are local, and we do really get ingrained in the community. And a lot of the services, as I'll show on the next slide, really do become the backbone of the community, trying to get people to jobs, get people to healthcare appointments, and most importantly, or I guess they're all important, is to connect people to other public transit options where they might that might be the barrier. They're just not able to access public transit, so they're not able to get to work. So these tools and these operations are really able to bridge that gap. The last one on the slide is all the data. So a lot of data comes out of these types of services, and it allows us to start to understand travel patterns, demand patterns, where people are trying to go to and from, to help give you guys insights in terms of where we think these services are going to be super successful, where we should add more vehicles, where we should take vehicles away, and where people are really trying to go using these innovative services. Next slide, please. I'll showcase a couple of the folks that we work with in the region. These are extremely high impact projects. These are projects where there was a really clear need, and we're able to help these organizations deliver on the promise of mobility and the promise of public transportation. In Jersey City, there was a bit of a transit desert in Jersey City. The NJT does a great job covering the whole state, but there was a gap in terms of trying to get people to the NJT service. And so by launching the VIA, you can see the purple vans there, by launching the VIA service in Jersey City, they were able to connect people to jobs, be able to connect people to the broader transit network. And we saw 150% increase of an access to jobs within a 30-minute commute. So that type of impact is huge, especially when we're trying to attract new employers, or we're trying to get people out of their homes and into the workforce. If we look at Suffolk County, New York, we operate 2 different microtransit zones there, the East Hampton, the Southampton, and 50% of those riders use the service to get to work, and 70% don't have a car. So from an impact point of view, these are folks that now have employment opportunities. They're able to get to where they need to go, and we're able to bridge that gap. In addition to these two services, we also actually provide the ADA paratransit technology for all of Suffolk County. So we're able to actually increase our impact there even further by being able to offer other transportation options to folks that need them. And Putnam County, which is a service that we just recently launched, almost on day one, they saw a 2x increase in ridership versus what they'd been doing with the public transit service, the fixed route service, and a 20% decrease in cost. This is an extremely exciting service for us. They actually just won an award, which will be presented, I think, today to them. So it's now an award-winning service, and it's really getting people out of their homes and out of their cars and into the different modes of transport that we're able to provide. Next slide, please. And lastly, as it relates to this particular grant with NYSERDA, VIA is definitely interested in helping you all apply for the grant. We have a grant writing team that's able to help put together a solution that's going to be custom tailored for your community. What do the vehicles look like? What type of vehicles are they? How do we charge them? Make sure that what we're putting together is so localized for you and able to take advantage of this amazing funding program. And we're also able to deploy this outside of the application. We're also able to actually operate these types of services. And in the last year, we actually were able to help secure about $75 million in grant funding for our partners.
Okay, we're at time, so we are going to move on to the next speaker. Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cody Cornwell. I'm a regional sales director with RideCo. RideCo is a microtransit and on-demand technology provider. We have been in business for about 12 years now with over 120 employees. We are headquartered in Toronto with U.S. offices in LA as well as Philadelphia. We have over 80 deployments in North America. We're now approaching near 100 with some recent wins. You can see some of our logo art here to the right with some of our partners, such as Via San Antonio, SEPTA, Kansas City, and Las Vegas. We partner with a lot of our agencies to provide services that are efficient, effective, and provide an industry-leading kind of customer experience. So we focus on every aspect of the service, from assisting in planning and looking what these microtransit services might look like, all the way through to helping implement and put those solutions out on the road. What we do from an industry-leading perspective is assist. I apologize, this timing with our dogs, I'm so sorry. We provide kind of that industry-leading efficiency when it comes to metrics, as well as that hand-holding throughout every aspect of the project to ensure we're meeting all of our goals for the project, as well as ensuring that that customer experience is top-notch. Next slide, please. With RideCo, we provide the full suite of products. We provide a passenger application for Android, iOS, as well as a web application. There's a driver application, so obviously the drivers are able to migrate to their different stops throughout their manifest. We provide an operations dashboard to provide insight into what these services are looking like out on the road and allow the agencies to make day-of decisions on what those look like. We provide a full suite of reporting data, including KPI dashboards and full reporting, so everybody is fully in the know of what's going on out on the road, what that looks like. And we have multiple different ways that we can help handle that with multimodal trip planning. We have features built into our technology to consume GTFS and GTFS RT data to ensure that we're connecting with other fixed mode services of transportation that you guys might have. So taking advantage of the resources that already exist, as well as helping transport passengers to those. Next slide, please. A fantastic example of who we're partnering with, Via San Antonio is one of our earlier microtransit projects. Via San Antonio was looking to take a look at some of the areas they had in their Northeast corridor. They had several fixed routes that were underperforming, and they were looking to supplement and kind of replace those services with something that's more effective in moving their passengers. They replaced some of those fixed routes with a microtransit service. They had a myriad of stops set up throughout the area. Those fixed routes were quite underperforming. They were seeing less than 15 boardings per passenger hour. And with those microtransit services that they replaced those with, they saw a drastic increase in what the service was able to provide in terms of outcomes to the riders. Much more effective, much more efficient services. We partner with many operations and operators in the industry. An example here is Z-Trip. They are a taxi cab provider. This is a 12 vehicle service that we partner with them on. So we're very flexible and experienced in working with all operators in the space. So from EVs to any other operator that you guys might be looking to partner with to provide this service. Next slide, please. Some of the outcomes that we were able to deliver with this service was ensuring that passengers had access to these services. Before, they were looking at over 600 feet of walking distance to some of their local fixed route stops, as well as having to plan those trips from end to end. When's that bus going to arrive? When's it getting to my destination? Do I have to make any connections? With our service that we implemented, they were seeing a drastic reduction in that walking distance, so less than 300 feet. The cost per passenger was reduced by 36%, and 40% of those trips were connecting to existing transit hubs or fixed route services. So they saw a drastic increase in kind of the passengers per vehicle hour that they were transporting, over 5 PVH on their microtransit service. They saw an increase of over 100 passengers per day on their service over their previous fixed routes. Significant reduction in that headway from a 60-minute headway down to 12 minutes average wait time, and a big increase in their shared rides. So ensuring that we're utilizing these resources as effectively as possible when it comes to pooling those rides together and being as efficient with the dollars that we would have as part of this grant. So kind of in closing, RideCo is more than happy to help you guys when it comes to putting together a grant for this funding, to planning what this service might look like. We have a team of service planners at our disposal that can work with you guys to ensure that we're coming up with a plan and a project that is going to be effective in your unique area, understanding all of the uniqueness that exists there and what that might look like in implementing some of these services. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, and I'm sorry if those dogs are barking in the background. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cody. I'd like to encourage anyone from the audience to either send us a chat message, and I will read your question out loud. You can also raise your hand, and NYSERDA events can unmute you. I'm going to sit back and just wait a minute before we go to the next session. We really strongly encourage you to have, if you have any questions, to ask them now. We also want to remind you that you can follow up with any of these presenters offline and later, and you will have their information through the directory. So Rob Ryans wanted us to share with you that there is a webinar next week. It's where you can learn more. Well, I think we are just about ready for Envoy Technologies.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Great. My name is Drew Hopkins. I am the COO over here at Envoy Technologies. We are headquartered in Culver City, California. We've been in business for about 8 years. We're about 23 employees. You can check us out at envoythere.com. We are an electric car sharing technology company and service provider. Our flagship service is a private car share service for apartments, hotels, and workplaces where the vehicles live on site and are accessed by the members of those particular properties. We also offer public car share as well, both one-way and round trip. Next slide, please. Of course, my dog was not barking the entire time, but just now decided to join in the conversation. So we have built the technology, so the fleet management platform and the mobile apps that the drivers use from the ground up after years of experience with EV car share. We control the whole full of tech stack. We also offer a variety, any EV on the market basically that matches the community types. So everything from Chevy Bolts all the way through all the Teslas to the Rivians, Lucids, You name it, we can procure any vehicle that matches the program. We also provide the full service. So insurance, car washes, regular maintenance. We have dedicated 24/7 mobility concierge is what we call it. We've got a lot of first-time EV drivers out there or first-time car share drivers out there. So we're ready to help educate and help with any assistance that's needed. We can also provide EV chargers. We can deploy the car share at any charger that's available. However, we were acquired by Blink Charging a couple of years ago, so we can also assist with any level 2 chargers that you might need, either upgrades or additional chargers for your property. Next slide, please. We are deployed in about 57 cities across 23 states currently and counting. We can deploy anywhere across the country. This also does include New York. We're in various areas of the New York State. We've got over 200 EVs on the platform right now. We mostly on the private car share service. We partner with some of the top tier multifamily and hospitality groups, thinking Greystar related, the Frack, things like that on the multifamily side, as well as Ritz-Carlton, the Marriott flagship brands, Hilton, etc. on the hospitality side. We've done various grant programs in conjunction with like LADOT, Lacey, Housing Authority of City of Los Angeles, etc. For low-income disadvantaged communities, both at affordable housing units as well as open to the public programs. And we are a sustainable business of Culver City, where we're based. Next slide, please. So we've got over 15,000 unique drivers on the platform. We've got over 200,000 bookings. We've done over 3 million e-miles driven. So it's a proven technology across any sort of EV on the market. We can really tailor our programs to whichever community fits the program best. So with that, I think that's our last slide. We can pass it on to Zipcar.
Great, thank you, and great to meet everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I'm Will Sowers. I'm Senior Manager of Public Partnerships and Policy at Zipcar. For 25 years, Zipcar has been the leader in car sharing, operating in more than 25 metro areas, over 400 colleges and universities, and serving millions of members. Here in New York, we operate in all 5 boroughs, as well as Westchester and Nassau counties, supported by a dedicated local team of nearly 50 individuals. We've built strong partnerships across New York, including with the New York City Housing Authority, where nearly 100 Zipcars available to NYCHA residents at discounted rates, with the New York City Department of Citywide Administrative Services, enabling city employees to use electric Zipcars for official business, and with the New York City Department of Transportation, providing on-street car share in high-demand neighborhoods. We also offer discounts for SNAP and ID New York City cardholders, making our service even more accessible to low-income New Yorkers. Our mission is simple: to make it easy for everyone to live without owning a car, reducing congestion, improving air quality, and expanding mobility access. Next slide, please. Zipcar's EV offerings are built to integrate seamlessly into urban and community mobility programs. They're backed by the technical expertise to ensure long-term success. Our EV car share service provides 24/7 access via our app with hourly and daily rates that include charging, insurance, and maintenance. We also support vehicle access for EV rideshare and on-demand services, giving gig drivers a low-cost way to go electric, and EV fleet management for microtransit, shuttles, or dedicated partner fleets. We specialize in site selection, working with charging providers, utilities, and municipalities to find locations that are accessible, equitable, and operationally viable. Our blended pricing approach combines market rate usage with subsidized low-income rates, ensuring equity without sacrificing sustainability. We also offer white label programs like our community car share model, so partners can brand the service while we handle operations. Next slide, please. In Sacramento, our community car share program, launched in 2017 with California Climate Investments funding, placed more than 20 EVs and plug-in hybrids in affordable housing communities. Tiered pricing keeps the service affordable while targeting self-sufficiency, proving that grant-funded EV car share can survive beyond the pilot phase. We're adapting that model in Trenton, New Jersey today, where we'll be serving low-income city residents through a partnership with Fourth and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and on Cape Cod, where we've designed an EV car share program for year-round residents and summer visitors alike. These experiences show we can tailor EV car sharing to a variety of community needs and population patterns, an approach we're ready to apply anywhere in New York State. Next slide, please. Our newest program is Zipcar powered by ComEd in Chicago, where 6 EVs are already on the ground and more are on the way. We're blending existing charging infrastructure with new build chargers to deploy quickly and scale effectively. This program is built on close coordination with charging partners, municipal agencies, and community organizations to ensure vehicles are placed where they'll see strong, sustained use. It's the same formula we'll bring to New York: deep local partnerships, smart site selection, and a balance of equity and operational viability. In New York City, Westchester, and Nassau County, we already work hand in hand with city agencies, housing authorities, community partners to make mobility more affordable, equitable, and sustainable. With the Clean Mobility Program, we can expand that work, bringing EV car sharing to new communities across the city and upstate, blending market and subsidized rates, ensuring projects thrive well beyond their demonstration phase. Thank you for your time. I look forward to connecting with about how we can partner. And from here, happy to pass this along to my colleague at Uber.
I think we may have had to, I think that Uber had to step aside. If he joins in a few minutes, we will certainly welcome his presentation. But thank you so much. So I know that some of our audience members might be a little shy, but we would like to provide you the opportunity to ask questions to any of the